ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ तत्सत्। श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु। सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते भयेभ्यस्त्राहिनो देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोस्तुते. O dear Mother Durga, you are the one who is present in all forms. You are omnipotent, and we pray to you to save us from all kinds of fears, and we bow down to you. Offering most humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of our Divine Mother Sai, and invoking her presence and benediction for today's satsang. Dear brothers and sisters, my loving Sai Ram to all of you, and Navaratri greetings from Prasanthi Nilayam. We are already into day 6 of this Sharad Navaratri. It is called so because it is celebrated in the autumn season of the year. As we all know, unlike Shivaratri, where we keep the whole night-long vigil, in Navaratri, the most of the celebration is in the daytime, from dawn to dusk, and very rarely in the night time, probably in some parts of our country. Yet, it is called Navaratri, and what is the reason? That is because the word Ratri is Rati iti Ratrihi. It means that which protects us, that which saves us. Ra means solace. Tri means from 3 kind of tapatrayas, the afflictions that affect our 3 bodies, the gross bodies, Sthula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, the subtle body, and Karana Sharira, that is the causal body. And Ratri, as we all know, night, is a period of deep rest and rejuvenation for our entire system. See, Nava means 9 in Sanskrit, and that also has a significance. Just as a baby rests in the womb of the mother for 9 months, where it doesn't have to do anything, and it is the mother who nurtures the baby, nourishes the baby by her energy, and delivers the baby into the new world at the end of 9 months. In these 9 days, if we submit ourselves, surrender to the Divine Mother, she works on us, nourishes us, and transforms us. And at the end of 9 days, what she gives us is deliverance itself. Deliverance from this samsara, the transmigratory cycle of birth and death, on the 10th day of the festival, which is called Vijaya Dashami. So this is the significance of the word Navaratri itself. And also, we are so blessed to be a part of this country which is called Bharata. As Swami would say, it is a Yoga Bhumi, Punya Bhumi, Karma Bhumi, which is graced by innumerable avatars, including the Paripurna avatar, Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. So what is Bharata? Brahma Vidyam Tasyam Ramate iti Bharata. It means it is a place where everyone revels in Brahma Vidya, the self-knowledge. If it is so, Why don't we experience it? Isn't it? All we experience is this limited body, mind, intellect and nothing more than that. So what is the reason? That is because the luminosity of Brahma Vidya is covered by the Ratri, the darkness of ignorance, and due to the grace of the Divine Mother, at the end of 9 days, there is this Nava, also means new, Nutana. There is this new understanding that comes to us, new energy, new light that comes to us. And because of this new understanding, we are so centered in our life. We are connected to our true self, and with this new light, whatever we begin on the day of Vijayadashami, there is bound to be victory on the 10th day. That is why it is known as Vijayadashami. That is why it is said the Pandavas retrieved their weapons which they had kept for safeguarding on the Shami Vriksha on this day of Navaratri, and they started their victory march over Adharma. It is called Jaitra Yatra on this day of Vijayadashami, and this is also what Navaratri does to us. See, in this Navaratri festival, whom are we worshipping? That is the first question, isn't it? See, this festival is so popular, it is widely celebrated in almost every state of our country. And what makes this festival so special or so unique? And as I said, what are we worshipping or whom are we worshipping? We are worshipping the innate power of the Lord. See, the Lord Supreme is Advitiya, non-dual. There is no second. Ekam eva Advitiyam Brahma. So there is no place for creation in this ultimate principle, because there cannot be a second entity. So this supreme truth, through the power of Maya, the divine energy, projects this creation. It means it is the energy of the mother from the ultimate principle, Brahman, that makes the changeless appear as the changing, that makes the intangible appear as tangible creation. That is what we experience all around us. That is the power of the Divine Mother, and it is this principle. So it is our own innate divinity what we worship in this festival of Navaratri. But why is it so special to us, this Devi Upasana, or the worship of the Divine Mother? See, you will all agree with me if I say, in a family, it is easier for the child to relate to and to connect to the mother than to the father. In no way I am discounting the role of father in the life of a child, but it is the unconditional love of the mother, the compassionate, forgiving nature makes the child run to the mother at the drop of a hat, cry out to the mother, and the child tucks on to the pallu of the mother, confides in the mother, and the mother also so patiently listens to the child. And even if the mother wants to correct the child, she does it so lovingly, and that is what makes this worship of the Divine Mother so endearing to all of us, and that is the specialty of this Navaratri festival. So this Divine Mother is the Bhavatarini Kali in West Bengal. In the northeast, she is Kamakhya. She is Sharada Mata, Kamakshi, Meenakshi down south, and she is Kashmira Puravasini. There also she is there, and she is the most popular mother, Durga Mata, in most parts of our country. And if someone wants to excel in public speaking or become a singer, he surrenders to this Mother Vani, Vagdevi. And someone who wants to have mastery over the scriptures, he takes refuge in Mother Uma Haimavati, the goddess of scriptures. So in other words, This Devi is the God next door who is so available to us, accessible to us, and approachable by all of us. And that makes this festival so special. That's why it is widely celebrated across the country. Even in Buddhist tradition, the compassionate Buddha, the Buddha of compassion, is known by the name Mother Guanyin. That is the greatness of this Adi Parashakti, the Divine Mother, the divine energy which projects this creation, the Prakriti, who is worshipped in the form of the Mother. As we have listened to in Bhagwan's discourses, we all know that the first 3 days of Navaratri Aradhana is dedicated for the worship of Mother Durga. Mother Durga represents the Kriya Shakti aspect of the mother of action. See, the Vedantic symbolism of this worship of Mother Durga is that the reconstruction of our human personality starts first by ruthlessly cutting down the weeds and the unwanted trees in the jungle of our mind. That is why it is said, Raga, Dvesha, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Maharakshasani Hatva. This is what Mother Durga does. She destroys ruthlessly all these inner enemies in our own mind. And that is the aspect of the mother we worship in these first 3 days. And thereby the mother, by destroying these inner enemies, the inner negativity in us, she brings purity of the mind, which is called Chitta Shuddhi. And the number 3, the 3 days that the Durga is worshipped, also has a significance. The first day, the mother works on our body. The body has to become active, which is so used to laziness and indolence. The second day, she works on the mind, bringing the purity of the mind. And third day, she works on our intellect, bringing in clarity of the goal of human life itself in our intellect. And this is the importance of worshipping the mother for 3 days. See, when we pray to the Divine Mother, Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Matru Rupena Samsthita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha, we use the word Namastasyai 3 times. That is because we surrender to you, Divine Mother, with our body, mind and intellect, the 3 equipments that we have to uplift ourselves. And when we say Namo Namaha, it also means Namama, Namama, not mine, thou and thine, only you, and everything is yours, O dear Mother. So this is the Durga aspect. And once the mind is prepared like this with purity, the next goddess, the next form of the Divine Mother, Mother Lakshmi, takes over. And it is called Lakshmi Sampatti. She is the Ichha Shakti or the Rakshana Shakti aspect of the Divine Mother. She protects the spiritual fire in us. So she fills the mind with all positive qualities. So when we say Goddess Lakshmi, she is not only the goddess of the tangible material wealth, but most importantly, she is the goddess of the wealth of our inner virtues. And that is why it is said, Vimarshaitat Asheshena. It means after having destroyed the demons, the mother makes us continuously, ceaselessly contemplate and reflect and meditate upon the divine aspect of the mother, so that there is chitta ekagrata, the single pointed focus in our mind on the divine. And naturally the sattva guna in us increases. The tamo guna is eliminated in the first stage, and in the second stage the rajoguna is subdued. And even rajoguna, because of the Lakshmi Sampatti, the positive qualities that we get, is transformed into seva bhava. And because of this we grow in our sattva. And next 3 days Mother Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, takes over, and she gives us the highest wisdom. So, with this transformation, when the day of Vijayadashami, the 10th day comes, there is end of avidya, ignorance in us, and there is vidyarambha. That is why small children are initiated into vidyarambha, initiated into learning on this day of Vijayadashami. And in some parts of our country, it is also symbolically celebrated by burning down the effigy of the 10-headed monster Ravana. The 10 heads here signifying the 5 Gnanendriyas, the 5 senses of knowledge, the 5 Karmendriyas, the 5 senses of action, and thereby telling us that you have got complete mastery over these senses, and because of this, the inferior sense indulgence and also ego and egocentric desires in us comes to an end. And because of this, there is only victory for us in our life, the victory of the higher self over the little lower self of this body-mind complex that we think we are. This is in short what happens during this Navaratri festival when we invoke the grace of the Divine Mother. But for this transformation to happen, what should be the attitude of the seeker? This is beautifully explained by a story in Kenopanishad. Once, having defeated the Asuras in a fierce battle, the Devas are celebrating their victory. They suddenly look up and they see an apparition in the sky. See, the Devas are supposed to know everything, but they don't know who this apparition is. See, when they see somebody strange, even though they are victorious, they feel threatened. And this is what happens to us. Even when we are at the pinnacle of our worldly fame and name and worldly positions, there is this feeling of insecurity of losing all this, isn't it? So the Devas feel threatened and they send Agni Deva to know what this apparition is. And this god of fire comes with all his mighty, with ego and pride, and approaches the apparition. And when the apparition asks, "Who are you?" and he says, "Don't you know who I am? I am the fire god who can burn anything in a trice." And this apparition keeps a blade of grass in front of him and says, "You may please burn this, sir." And Agni, with all its might, cannot do anything. He is humiliated, defeated, he comes back. And now goes the Vayu Deva, the god of wind, and he also comes with pride and ego, and he cannot even move an inch this blade of grass that is put by this apparition, and he also comes back. See, in the story, Agni and Vayu represent our senses. The senses are so reckless, they are so instinctive, impulsive, and they cannot discriminate what is right, what is wrong, and how we should be behaving at all. And Indra, the mind, is watching all these happenings. And now Indra, who is aligned perfectly with the buddhi, the mind aligned with the intellect in us, Indra has learnt a lesson, and he comes with folded hands, with humility, respect and reverence, and approaches the apparition. And soon this apparition vanishes, and in his place is this mother, Uma Haimavati, the goddess of scriptures. And Indra very humbly asks her, "Who was it who was there in your place before?" And she says, "That is Brahman, the supreme truth. But if you approach Brahman with ego and pride, you can never realize him, you can never get him, and you have to surrender to this goddess of scriptures. You have to practice the teachings of these scriptures, and you have to have Shastra Kripa to elevate yourself into Ishvara Kripa." So this is the attitude we must have. See, modern day management gurus say we must have growth mindset. But to have the growth mindset, what Vedanta tells us is you must be very humble. You must be full of humility, respect, reverence to your Guru, and most importantly, you must approach the Guru for Shastra Kripa with an open mind, with a receptive mind that I will learn from the Guru, and not with our prejudices and preconceived notions. And this should be the attitude of the disciple, or this should be the attitude of the seeker. That is why in the word Upanishad, Ni means not only down, it means the disciple should be at a receptive level with the Guru, with an open mind and humility. And once the attitude of ours is right, how does transformation take place? By the grace of the Divine Mother in Navaratri. For this, we need to undertake Devi Upasana, the worship of the Divine Mother, which is called the Navaratri Sadhana. See, the Divine Mother is known as Kaushiki. It means she is the one who is present in all our koshas, the 5 sheaths, the Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya and Anandamaya koshas. So she is there in our every cell. This is her presence that makes all these sheaths function actually. That is the power of the Divine Mother. That is why the seekers purify their gross body or Annamaya Kosha with fasting in this Navaratri period. Fasting means we need not starve ourselves, but most seekers who want to meditate and undertake sadhana, they consume more and more of sattva food, the sattvic food, and also the food that is high in prana, uncooked fresh fruits, vegetables, and this is what they take in order to purify their Annamaya Kosha. The speech in us is purified through silence, and that is why the seeker undertakes meditation. The emotions in the Manomaya Kosha, the mind, that is purified through singing the glory of the Lord or bhajan singing. And the intellect, the Vijnanamaya Kosha, is purified by Swadhyaya and also Satsanga. So if we look at all these sadhanas, we can clearly make out that Bhagwan has perfectly designed all these activities to take place in Prasanthi Nilayam during the Navaratri. See, there is this Prashanti Vidwan Mahasabha to give us satsang, and also the Devi Mahatmyam Parayanam goes on so that we do the study of the scriptures and we learn the glory of the Divine Mother. And also there is bhajan singing, which is every day there in the ashram. And not only this bhakti and gnana, there is this karma yoga component also in the sadhana in the form of grama seva. If we have to do all these things in the comforts of our home, it may not be easy for us. We may get easily distracted. That is why thousands of devotees throng to Prasanthi Nilayam in this Navaratri period and collectively take part in all these sadhanas to elevate themselves. It is not only the microcosm, our inner self, that we need to purify, but the macrocosm as well. And that is why Bhagwan has given us various type of yajnas, the Rudra Homa, the Veda Purusha Saptaha Jnana Yajna, to be performed in this period, so that we are bathed in this Vedic chants. It is called Mantra Snana, and also the atmosphere is sanctified with divine vibrations. And most importantly, when we undertake this sadhana in this ambience of Prasanthi Nilayam, the greatest advantage probably, I think, is it is modern day fasting for us. What is modern day fasting? See, our system is bombarded with these social network sites, this Google, WhatsApp, Twitter and Instagram and so on. And we name it, we have it. But if we have to refrain from such activities, it is possible in the ashram. And as somebody said, see, we chant Om Shanti 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 3 times. That is to seeking protection from three kinds of troubles, that is Adhibhautika, Adhidaivika, Adhyatmika, the troubles that may be caused by the cosmic forces, the demigods, and also from our own body and mind. But nowadays what we need is the fourth Shanti, which is the mobile Shanti. The first thing we reach out to us in the morning is our mobile phone, and even our alarm is set in this cell phone. And all this is possible in the atmosphere of the ashram, in the atmosphere of Prasanthi Nilayam, and that makes the Navaratri Sadhana in Prasanthi Nilayam so special, so unique, and so elevating for all of us. But this year, unfortunately, we are not able to have this here. But thanks to Radio Sai, we can access all these sadhanas virtually online, and we are able to take part in it. The Durga Saptashati, which appears in Markandeya Purana, gives a big list of demons who are vanquished by the Divine Mother, and the destruction of each and every demon carries a profound spiritual significance for a seeker. The first set of demons that are destroyed are Madhu and Kaitabha. Madhu, honey, nectar, which is very sweet, very dear to all of us. It is our likes, attachment, or raga. And Kaitabha is the opposite of raga, that is dvesha and dislike. So, if we need to have our goal fixed on a higher purpose, it is very important for us to have acceptance in our life, and also to have certain kind of equipoise, equanimity in our mind, and that is brought about by destruction of this Madhu, Kaitabha, Raga and Dvesha by the grace of the Divine Mother. It is the Mahakalaratri aspect of the Divine Mother that is responsible for the destruction of these two demons. This Kalaratri is the Yoga Nidra aspect of Lord Mahavishnu. Lord Mahavishnu is in sleep because of this tamas aspect of the mother, or the Yoga Nidra aspect. When Brahmaji is threatened by Madhu Kaitabha, he runs to this Mahakali, and Mahakali withdraws herself from Mahavishnu, and Vishnu wakes up from his sleep, and with the help of the Divine Mother, he destroys this Madhu and Kaitabha. So, if we need to invoke the grace of Lord Vishnu, we must run to this Divine Mother. After all, she is the sister of Lord Vishnu. She is Narayani, isn't it? Narayani is also the refuge of all Naras. Then the next demon is Mahishasura, to be destroyed by the Divine Mother. Mahisha means buffalo. Buffalo is known for its lethargy, stubbornness and inertia. That is why we say when we are driving on a road, if we see a buffalo, it is like a natural speed breaker. It doesn't move. And our tamas nature is also like that, very difficult to overcome. And this Divine Mother destroys this Mahishasura. He is a demon who is born out of the union of demon king Rambha with a buffalo, and he propitiates Brahma and asks for the boon of immortality, which is declined by Brahma, saying that a person who is born has to die, and ask for something else. Then he says, I should not be killed by a man, by a god, and by a demon, and a woman can kill me. See, he underestimates the power of a woman, and this Mahishasura becomes invincible. He conquers the earth and the Devaloka, and all the Devas run to Brahma, and along with him they take refuge in Lord Vishnu and Lord Maheshwara, and all this Trinity God and all the other gods and goddesses, from their light, from their power, create this beautiful form of Devi, and this Devi destroys Mahishasura, that is destroying our own tamas. See, whenever there is tamoguna, the good qualities, the virtues in us take a back seat. That is why when Mahishasura enters the Devaloka, all the Devas, the good beings, they run away. See, we know we have to get up early in the morning, probably do some yoga, exercise to keep ourselves fit, and also meditate in order to realize the self in us. We all know this, and not only this, we very well know what Bhagwan has told about the sadhana in Brahma Muhurtam. Bhagwan says, the sadhana that you do during the course of the day, it is like the savings bank account. The grace of interest that you get from this account, it is used for your material welfare. Whenever you need the divine grace, when you have a problem in the world, this helps you. But the sadhana that you do in Brahma Muhurtam, Bhagwan says, it is like the fixed bank account, the grace of which is utilized exclusively for your spiritual growth and your upliftment. And we know all this in spite of this, we cannot get rid of tamas. And if this has to be destroyed, we need to invoke the power of the Divine Mother. And the other demons that are destroyed are Shumbha and Nishumbha. Shumbha represents self-conceit and Nishumbha, self-pity. And this is there in all of us, whether we like it or not, accept it or not. This is what our nature is. And the Shumbha is so self-conceited that he sends a marriage proposal to the mother when he comes to kill him. And she says, okay, but you have to defeat me in the battle. And he is so arrogant, he says, my soldiers are enough to kill you. And he sends Dhumra Lochana. Dhumra Lochana means smoky, foggy vision. It is the distorted perception of the reality that we have in us. As Swami would say, there is no Srishti Dosha, there is only Drishti Dosha, the faulty vision. The problem lies with us. And this is destroyed by the Divine Mother. And then there is this Chanda Munda. Chanda is the one who has only head and no body. He cannot act, but he is so headstrong that he doesn't listen to anyone. And if someone advises him the right thing, he gets so angry. So the anger in us is represented by Chanda, and Munda is the one who has got only body and no head. So he cannot think, he cannot listen. So it is the senselessness that we all have, and both these are vanquished by the Divine Mother. And then the mother destroys Rakta Bijasura. Rakta Bijasura is a demon who has a boon that from every drop of the blood from his body that falls on the ground, 100 asuras will emerge. So this Rakta Bijasura represents this insatiable source of desire in all of us. When one desire is fulfilled, multiple desires crop up in our mind, isn't it? So the Devi tackles this Rakta Bijasura. And what is the source of this desire? We foolishly think that the desire is coming from an external object, but it is from our own vasana, deep-seated in our causal body. And the Devi is capable of destroying this, which is there in our causal body, and that is how she brings the ultimate transformation in us by destroying the negative vasanas, the negative deep-seated tendencies that are there, which become the source of desire in us. And Shumbha, Nishumbha are also killed by the Divine Mother. So, as a result of all this transformation that happens within us during the Navaratri Sadhana, when we surrender to the Divine Mother, when we invoke her Shakti in us, at the end of these 9 nights, on the dawn of Vijayadashami day, we can all say very humbly, Yatra Devi Sai Mata, Yatra Sri Sathya Sai Bhaktaha, Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matirasmakam. It means it is our firm belief and conviction that wherever this Mother Sai is propitiated, invoked by her devotees, the Sai devotees, through this Navaratri sadhana, there is bound to be Shree, means the wealth, the inner wealth, which is by the grace of Mother Lakshmi, and Vijaya, victory of our higher self over the lower self, and this is by the grace of Mother Durga. And finally, there is bliss of Sat Chit Ananda, our true nature, by the grace of Divine Mother Saraswati. Now I will quickly touch upon the 9 forms of the Divine Mother as they are described in Devi Kavacham. On the first day, the mother is worshipped as Shailaputri. It means literally the daughter of the king of mountains, that is Himavan. So the mother goddess is born. But Shaila also means Shikhara or peak. It means when the Prana Shakti is at its peak in us, the mother chooses to be born in our consciousness. And also, at the peak of every experience, it is the energy of the Divine Mother that is there, but we foolishly claim credit for all our accomplishments, but it is the grace of the Divine Mother that has accomplished anything in our life. That is the deeper significance for a seeker. On the second day, it is the Brahmacharini. It means the form of the Divine Mother, the austere form. Though she is born into the world, she dwells on Brahman, and this should be our attitude as well. As Swami says, hands in the society, head in the forest. Our goal should be, our awareness should be on the goal of human life, even as we are engaged in our worldly activities. In other words, we must use this world as the means to reach God as the goal and not the other way round. And then the mother gets married to Lord Shiva, and this is the Chandraghanta form on the third day. This is the form of the mother adorned with the moon in the shape of a bell. See, this has a very profound significance in the spiritual journey of a seeker. The moon represents Antashitalata, or inner coolness and the serenity that we must invoke by the grace of the mother. And also the moon, Chandrama Manaso Jataha. The mind is the moon, and this moon or the mind is known for its ups and downs and mood fluctuations. And the ghanta, the bell, produces only one type of sound. There is no multiple sounds, there is no cacophony. Therefore, when this ghanta is tied to the moon, this bell is capable of bringing the single pointed focus in our mind. That is the Chandraghanta aspect. So the mother is married to the Lord now, and now she conceives, that is the Kushmanda, that is the cosmic womb of the mother where she houses the entire universe itself. Kushmanda also means pumpkin in Sanskrit, and it is said that pumpkin is supposed to have the highest prana amongst all the foods, and therefore it induces sattva guna in a seeker when consumed. And now the mother who has conceived delivers. That is the Skanda Mata aspect of the mother on the fifth day. Skanda is another name for Lord Subramanya, and this Lord Subramanya is the fearless commander-in-chief of the army of the Devas, or the good virtues, that is led by Abhaya aspect of the mother, the fearlessness. And Skanda is also the Kriya Shakti of the mother. See, if we have the knowledge in our mind or in our intellect, it is only an intellectual understanding. But the knowledge must be translated into wisdom. It must be practiced in our day-to-day life, for which we need the help of Skanda or the Kriya Shakti. Then the sixth day is marked by the form of the Divine Mother, which is called as Katyayani. Katyayani is one of the angry forms of the mother. See, the mother's interests are no more confined to her own household, but she is concerned with the world at large. She is the universal mother. Wherever there is injustice, wherever there is adharma, she fearlessly fights that. And that is why it is said she is the energy who is present in all these natural calamities like the hurricanes, the earthquakes and the tsunamis. And the Katyayani form also tells us that we should also be concerned with the world at large, Loka Sangraha, the welfare of the world. There is no private spirituality. It is Atmanaha Mokshartham, Jagat Hitayacha. Not only for our self-emancipation, but we must undertake seva as well. And that's why Bhagwan has laid so much emphasis on this seva aspect. What is seva? Sa eva. Sa, him. Eva, like you become like him, you become like God. And that's why Swami would say, serve so that you may be saved. And that is why the organization founded by him is also known as Sri Sathya Sai Seva Organization. And what greater times that we can ask for than this ongoing present pandemic of COVID-19, where all of us should be supporting each other and selflessly helping each other and collectively fight this, because it is the collective prarabdha karma that the entire humanity is going through now. And then the next form of the Divine Mother, the seventh form, is Kalaratri. Kalaratri means the dark night. And this is the terrifying form of the Divine Mother who destroys the darkness in us, that is the ignorance. And is out of ignorance is born our ahankara, ego. Ahankaromi, I am doing it. That is the ego in us. And ego is ego, edging God out. And this is destroyed by the mother. And ego is very dear to all of us. And destroying this is not a simple process. It's a very painful process. And that's why the mother takes this fierce form of Kalaratri. And Kalaratri also means the one who is the death of time. It means it is the Divine Mother who takes us beyond time or beyond Maya to realize our own innate divinity. And once the darkness is destroyed, emerges the beautiful, bright, resplendent form of the Mother, who is the Mangala Gauri on the 8th day. She is the auspicious form of the Mother. She gives not only mukti, that is the spiritual freedom, but also bhukti, the material joy as well. That's why Swami would say, I give both annam and amritam to you. And as Swami would often say, when you take to spiritual way of living, it is like climbing a real coconut tree. You get both the real coconut and the shadow coconut. Whereas if you want only a material way of life, that is climbing a shadow coconut tree, you get neither. And Mangala Gauri bestows upon us all types of auspiciousness. That's why we say Sarva Mangala Mangalye. Then finally on the 9th day, the divine form that is worshipped is Siddhi Datri. It means the one who bestows upon the seeker Siddhi, the ultimate perfection. So if we look at these 9 forms of the Mother, we can easily make out that it depicts our own spiritual journey, the journey of a seeker from the stage of sadhaka through sadhana. Sadhana is the means to reach the sadhya, the goal, in order to get siddhi, perfection, so that we become siddha, the realized one. And it also depicts the glory of the womanhood itself in various stages. But womanhood doesn't mean any gender bias here. It is we are invoking the feminine aspect in us. As Swami said, I am the only Purusha. You are all Prakriti. And this journey of Prakriti to go back to the Purusha is what is depicted here. So we must realize that It is the Divine Mother who makes the one appear as many, and if this many has to go back to that one source, we need the grace of the Divine Mother. Maya can be overcome only by the grace of Ma. She makes the impossible possible, and that is the Shakti of the Divine Mother that is worshipped, that is invoked in this Navaratri festival. See, if we look at the lives of these gods and goddesses, one thing is very clear. They all demonstrated a vision, a mission, the will to execute it and accomplish it. If we look at the life of Lord Rama, he uncompromisingly lived dharma, come what may, and it is a lesson for us. Ramo Vigrahavan Dharmaha. And if we look at the life of Mother Parvati, she is a great seeker who did intense penance to go back to this Purusha, to unite with the Purusha. And why all this? When we look at the life of our own beloved Mother Sai, we find all these aspects in the life of Bhagwan, and that is our greatest blessing, isn't it? We all chant in Sri Rudram, Ayam me hasto Bhagavan, Ayam me Bhagavattaraha. This hand of mine that has touched the hand of yours, O Lord, that is really blessed indeed. And even those who have not had the darshan of Bhagwan in his physical form are drawn to Bhagwan. They are in his fold. Why? Their hearts are touched by this unconditional love, the love of 1,000 mothers, as Swami would say, the divine love of Bhagwan, and that is why they are with Bhagwan. And having had this blessing, what is it that we need to do? What we need, I think, is Sankalpa and Anusthana. Sankalpa, the single-minded resolve, and Anusthana, practice. When a student of Bhagwan, who later on became faculty, prayed to Bhagwan, Swami, you say love all, serve all. It is so difficult to do that even in the confines of our family. And how can we do it in the world at large? Then Swami asked him, how long did it take for you to take first steps when you were a baby? Swami, maybe 2 to 3 years. And how long did it take you to learn the alphabets, the basics of a language? Swami, probably 5 to 6 years. And how long did you take to get a university degree? 20 to 22 years. See, even to master a mundane skill, you have to put in so much of efforts for so many years. You want the highest, the grace of Lord. So you can think now how much of efforts you have to put in. So the answer for your question is practice, practice, practice. Abhyasa. If you start practicing today, you will reach there one day. If you don't start practicing at all, you will never reach there. And the compassionate mother that Swami is, he added, don't worry, I am with you in this journey and I will take care of you. And that is why what we need is the awareness of the goal and intensity of sadhana and consistency of sadhana in our practice. So in other words, it is Gnana Shakti, Ichha Shakti and Kriya Shakti, the 3 aspects of the Divine Mother. And this, I think, perhaps is the most powerful message that the holy festival of Navaratri drives home strongly to every seeker. And once during Navaratri celebration on the Ayudha Puja day, Bhagwan happened to ask one of the lady doctors of our hospital, Sri Sathya Sai General Hospital, what is Ayudha Puja? And she replied, Swami, it is the day on which we worship our instruments which we use in our medical practice. Then Swami said, you are all my instruments. Thanking Bhagwan with deepest sense of gratitude, I pray to Bhagwan to bless all of us to not only choose the divine, but obey the divine so that we may become instruments in the hands of Mother Sai, through which she operates and through which the divine orchestra unfolds itself. My sincere thanks to Sri Sathya Sai Media Center, and I thank every one of you who has been a part of this satsang. Jai Sai Ram.